Alright guys, so it's pretty late in Miami right now. I'm just making this video to obviously teach you guys how to differentiate yourself and your coaching business from your competitors, okay? So honestly, many people obviously ask me, it's one of the questions that come up a lot. How do I differentiate myself from my competitors, okay? Because a lot of people have competitors that obviously have, a lot more social proof, a lot more clout than them. So I'm gonna be teaching you guys, right? So simply put, you just gotta provide more value, okay? And I know it sounds very basic, but I want you guys to listen to me, all right? So I'm gonna be showcasing you guys what I call the value flywheel, and I'm gonna be showing you guys examples of how the biggest in the space use it for their offers, and I'm also gonna provide you guys with examples on different niches, okay? So below is what I like to call the value flywheel, and I'm gonna go ahead and explain it real briefly. Then I'll just explain it obviously very in depth below, right? But first of all, it starts up here. So you have your niche, your audience with X problem. Okay, so obviously you're selling B2C. A lot of people B2C have different problems. Either they don't know how to make money, or they just want to improve their social life somehow. Okay, so number two is you would give value on how to solve these problems. So if it's kind of like like a dating offer, and you're targeting men that don't know how to date, you teach them how to date. So I'm assuming you would teach them how to looks max, like self improve, I don't know, make money, just stuff like that. That kind of like, kind of helps them out. Learn how to text girls, talk to girls, stuff like that. Stuff that's gonna help them out in the real world when it comes to attracting, man, woman, whatever it may be. Okay. Then they would, take this information that you taught them within your content portfolio, your front end content, so like your short form, and then your back end content, as in like obviously your long form, like your YouTube videos, right? Then what will happen is they'll start taking action from the information that they learn in these videos, and when they start getting results. So let's say for example, this guy starts off, he doesn't get any girls. Once he goes through your content, not only does he spend over 7 hours with you, which is what we need to convert somebody, but he also learns. So he starts taking care of himself. I don't know, he starts making money and stuff. When he implements this, he's going to start loving you because you're the one that essentially made that happen. Then what's going to happen is obviously he's going to repay you by joining your program, right? Now, not all people are going to be like this, not all people are going to convert, but a really, really good some of them are. So that's going to be good. And even the ones that don't convert, they're going to stay watching your content, and even if you put out lower ticket stuff, they're going to buy it, right? But anyway, step number one is the audience with an X problem. So you need to find these people who have a certain problem looking to be fixed. Like I said, this could either be in their social life and or their financial life. So, a couple examples are, men struggling with dating, which is the example I just used up here, or men struggling with making money. Okay. And you can also look for people that are looking to learn a certain skill. So, for example, many people want to learn high ticket sales. Okay. Step number two is giving value on how to solve these problems, DIY, do it yourself, okay? So you need to be the one that steps in and teaches these people how to solve their problem or teaches them that new skill, obviously depending on your expertise, okay? So below, I'm dropping examples of obviously good industry leaders of certain niches, right? So number one is FitX Fearless, right? I see this guy all the time when I go on Instagram Reels and I don't even scroll, okay? So this guy, he's obviously in the dating / self-improvement space, right? He's here in Miami and I've seen him before at Elevation, okay? So obviously in terms of how his funnel works, he has front end content that attracts everybody, right? So he has, short form content. It's very, very basic stuff in my opinion. He doesn't really have like a fancy background. All he really has is like, the logo of his program, which is good because it converts more people. So, he has obviously short men should be like Kevin Hart. Can't be uglier than your friends. 2 out of 3 men have not been laid this year. Do this one thing to make your ex come. It's just a bunch of dating stuff, and you have money stuff, so like, credit score stuff. You should never pay for. And then obviously, more stuff. So, the best way to slide in your DMs, then a controversial video to blow up and attract more, drive more traffic. Then from here, he has back end content, which is obviously way more in depth on obviously, the stuff that he teaches. So 5 signs that your crush wants to be more than friends with you. These 5 things hack your brain, make you weak. It's just a bunch of dating stuff. Yeah, I think it's a bunch of dating stuff. Yeah, it's just a bunch of dating stuff and self-improvement stuff, basically. So in terms of his market, here's obviously what the value flywheel would end up looking like, right? So we have men that are struggling with dating or, just their social life in general, right? They could be like socially anxious or, just stuff like that, right? Broke, all that. Then, you're going to teach them how to, like maximize their looks, start grooming themselves, and start making money, right? Then from here, they're going to start implementing, these steps that, he teaches them. And they start, going through his portfolio and they start loving him for, changing their lives basically, right? Because you got to think about it. They went from, broke and kind of, I guess, ugly to girls to, making money. And now, now their, their market value, I guess, I don't know, what would you call it? Their sexual market value, it went up. And, he's, to thank for that because of his content portfolio. He went through all their content, right? Then they're going to repay him by joining his program. That's essentially how, the value flywheel for like a dating offer would work. Okay. Then example number 2 is Luke Alexander, who's, in the remote closing space or sales, to put it simply, right? In terms of his front end content that attracts the masses, obviously it's this really high quality, kind of like, it's like fancy content. He still provides value, but it just looks really good. So it attracts the masses. Then from here, he has obviously more back-end content, which goes more in depth on, just basic kind of principles, but he also still brings up his program, and he claims that obviously that high ticket sales is what made him rich, which kind of a lie. His program is what makes him rich. Teaching other people sales is what makes him rich, but it's okay. But in terms of obviously his offer, here's what the value flywheel would look like in his market, so remote closing. So obviously you have men that are struggling to make money online. They could have been in like the e-com space. They could have tried out like FBA, like drop shipping, all this different type of stuff, SMMA even. Okay. Then he teaches them how to sell B2C or B2B through his content, right? Which I don't really see, much in-depth stuff on sales specifically. He just brings up sales. So if you were to, really, teach people how to sell, then you could 100% like convert more people than him. Okay. So if you were to teach them how to sell B2C and B2B through his content or through your content, which is something that he really doesn't do, and then they start implementing actionable steps, and then they get on an offer, and then they start making money. Even if, they're on an offer, they're making money, they're going to feel entitled to pay you back, and they're going to pay you and join, your program. Okay. Now, step number 3 is, your audience starts getting results after implementing your advice, and then they would start loving you. Okay. So when the audience implements the advice that you give them, they'll inevitably start getting results after going through your portfolio. And then when they do, they're going to start questioning. They're going to be like, oh, who made this possible? And you're going to be the one that made it possible. All right, pretty brief, but step number 4 is reciprocity, okay? So repaying you by joining. So here's obviously when you cash out off the indirect value approach that, a lot of people run, okay? So once you've outvalued all of your other competitors, the people that you've helped out for free are going to start converting into sales for your program, okay? So even if they've already achieved their goal, they'll want to partner up with you regardless, after since you've helped them out so much. And this is a model that Alex Hormozi himself has perfected, okay? So Hormozi himself, what he does is he builds entrepreneurs with this content portfolio, which is well over 7 hours. Then he provides insights that are needed to scale, either their new or existing business. Then from here, when they scale their business, reciprocity is going to kick in, and the entrepreneur is going to go to Hormozi to scale the business. And Hormozi, that's how he makes his money. He makes millions off of equity, like it says down here, and I quote, "For everyone else, I make my money buying and growing businesses. I make this free content with the hopes I use it to grow your business enough to partner with us." So the moral of the story, to differentiate yourself from everybody in the space, you need to provide more value, right? Because, all these people, the ones that I showed up here, FitX, Fearless, Luke Alexander, Alex Hormozi, all these different type of people in any different type of niche, these industry leaders, they have very, very in-depth content portfolios and very, very long content portfolios, okay? And this is perfect for the cold prospect or in general for just anybody struggling, because they're going to go through all the content and they're going to learn a lot. They're going to learn a ton, okay? And once they actually start taking action and they start acting on everything that you teach them and that they learn, reciprocity is going to kick in and they're going to pay you back somehow eventually, okay? So, finally, please start making content today, okay? You will regret it if you don't, because content inevitably sells for you forever. You make it once and, people consume it forever. That's, you know, that's how leveraged it is. Okay. So thank you guys for watching. Obviously, if you want to start, you know, making more content, you want to start implementing all this stuff, and you want to start getting more sales for your B2C coaching program, book a call me below. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys later. Peace.